So we're recording, so don't say anything too controversial.
There you go. Oh, you want to get a show on the road?
Yes. This podcast may contain questionable language, will contain spoilers, and wishes you all a very happy new year in a fashionable late style.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 261 of MovieDrone. I'm on the whiteboard of fame, Steve.
And I'm so pleased not to be on that board, Mark.
And more of that a bit later on. Yeah. So, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
I don't know. I don't know if we have this conversation all the time. When is it fashionable to stop, or when should you stop wishing people Happy New Year? Because I'm finding it a bit weird at the moment. People I haven't seen
today.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. From yesterday, I was doing it still.
Right.
Today, I've decided that was a threshold.
Have you?
Yeah.
I thought about the 6th.
Okay.
I tried to stop on the 6th, but then people were still saying it to me, rather than just being rude and just going fuck off. Yeah. I've said it back to them, so I'm not saying it to anyone else anymore.
No.
After this, so Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Since WTM's Day. Go on then, bore us with your Christmas stuff.
No, I had a Christmas, mate. Very nice. It was too, very nice.
Was it?
Yeah, I've got the depression sinking in now because I'm back to work. But for a couple of weeks there, mate, just a couple of weeks, I was living the dream.
The retirement dream, you call it.
You know that dream where you pick something arbitrary, something small, and that fills your day. Like, I got my pizza oven, so one day's task was just to make some pizzas. That was it for the day.
Yeah.
Right? I sort of come down. Took ages making myself a coffee. I've got a special new coffee I make. Needs a coffee machine and a little pan and everything. Got my milk thermometer. Took me about 10 minutes to make a cup of coffee. Sat down, enjoyed it. Not a problem. Made my dough. That needs to prove for a few hours. Go and watch a film. And make the pizzas. Whew, that's enough for today. Just a couple of weeks, mate. The dream. I reckon I could settle into it all right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
Sure. Well, you can look forward to that in the next 40 years or so, and you'll be doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Terrific.
Good.
Great, isn't it? But other than that, I've got loads of stuff, loads of shit and things, bits and stuff.
It's all over, wasn't it? It was over. Over pretty quick.
I'm going shark diving. That was my highlight, I think. Apart from my Jules Gilet.
You got sharks in the UK or what?
Birmingham.
Brummy sharks, is it?
Yeah, Brummy sharks. I'm going diving with them.
But I imagine it's just like you just go to this pool and there's just like one shark in the pool and they stick you in a cage.
It's in the Sea Life Centre, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Is it?
Yeah, I think you're going.
Are you all right going in those places? I know you don't like some of those bits.
Yeah, well,
you're selling your soul.
Well, they've not got any mammals in there, have they? No water-based mammals that require a larger environment than they give them?
I don't know.
No, I think they're all right. Not totally au fait with it, but at least there'll be lots of people there with their Instagrams and TikToks and that for when I get eaten. Eaten in Birmingham Sea Life Centre.
They're going to chub the water.
Yeah.
I'll be up there chucking. I'd cut my arm off just to chuck it in there so that you get eaten. Yeah. It'd be worth it.
But other than that, mate, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I reckon I only had 2 naps.
Really?
The whole I let myself down a little bit.
Oh.
I should have napped a little bit more. Just didn't feel the need.
Blimey.
I was just so relaxed after the initial week of seeing people. But even that was quite relaxing. It was kept to a minimum,
Was it?
Yeah. A lot of places now, they know me. So it's like I go around their house and they're all going, how are you? And then Mark's wandered off and I'm just sort of over in the corner entertaining myself, or I'm at the garden having a mooch around with the dog or something like that. Yeah, I can entertain myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. How was yours, mate? Amazing.
I've had a bit of a mixed bag over this Christmas. Yeah. I don't want to sound like too depressed about it and that, but I went to work on Christmas Day, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I had a nice Christmas day with
the security guard.
Yeah, I had a nice Christmas day with Gill's mum and dad and my stepdad, Tony. That weren't too bad, but I was feeling a bit Tom Dick, mate.
Really?
Before Christmas, a slight bit Tom Dick, and then Christmas Day I felt a bit rough, and then I went to work on Boxing Day, and I felt really bad in the afternoon. And then I had COVID.
Oh, not again, mate.
Yeah. First time since I had it the first time round, so I ain't done too bad. But yeah, I had COVID. And but being in my position at work, I got to work from home while I was sick. That was nice, wasn't it? So 3 days of working at home rather than getting better. But yeah, so I had COVID.
You are such a hero, though, aren't you?
No. And then I went back to work for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So that was nice. And then someone's sick now, so I ain't been back. So I'm working all the weekend. So that ain't too good, is it? But, you know, I had my health, didn't I? I got through COVID.
Was Gill in charge? I'm assuming Gill was in charge Christmas Day.
Well, I gave it to her, didn't I, afterwards?
Yeah, but was you sitting there going, I would help, love, but I'm just feeling a bit Tom Dick. So she ran around doing the dinner for everyone?
No, she was good.
Did a good job? Good job, she?
When?
Jill, Christmas dinner. I'm sure.
No, I did Christmas dinner.
You cooked?
Yeah, I wasn't diagnosed as COVID then. I was just spreading it to me 86-year-old stepdad and Jill's mum and dad.
Here's all the knives and forks I've touched. Make sure I'm putting them in your mouth.
I didn't know by then. So, and then what else? I gave it to her. Yeah. So we missed New Year. New Year, we was in bed by about 7 o'clock because
I bet you were gutted, mate, weren't you? I bet you were. I bet there was almost tears in your eyes.
Well, it was separate beds as well. You know what I mean? Spent most of Christmas in separate beds, so that was great. And then I went to the dentist, found out I got to have a tooth out.
Right.
Now that ain't good, is it? Because I'm a person who remembers the bad dentistry of many a year ago. Where if you want a tooth out, you tend to have the dentist's feet and knees on your chest pulling it out. So I've decided to have sedation.
Yeah, so would I.
Would you?
Yeah, fucking right.
Do you know what? It fucking doubles the price.
As much as I'm not scared of a dentist, I don't like people in my face, and I've got no, I'm not going to say that one, but I'd not be good because I've got a very easy gag reflex. I gag brushing my teeth every morning.
Oh, yeah,
so when that woman keeps ramming that fucking tube at the back of my throat, last time I went, mate, I took it off her and said, can I hold it?
Like a really low rate porn film, was it?
Yeah, it was... Yeah, I was like, you touch the back of my throat again, you're going to end up with my lunch on you.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, so, I've been listening to people's horror stories since I do it. So it's going to cost me twice as much, but I'm due to go under. Yeah. So that's not great, but, be an experience, won't it? Jill's dad's birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday, Mike. And the old white board of fame. Yeah. I know that everyone wants to know. Right. What that's all about.
Do you reckon they are just thinking, I wonder what he meant?
Seats, on the edge of their seats. Yeah. So local radio. Yeah, ready?
Pete Flynn.
Yeah, we've got a clip for you of me doing this, winning this. Ready?
Yeah, go for it.
He's got the answer right. Well done to Lord Dino of East Street. We got Steve Roberts here in Sittingbourne getting the answer right. We got Sue over there in East Church on the Isle of Sheppey, and Dangerous Dave in Queenborough. So all those names in the random generator. Let's press the button. Sue's going up on the whiteboard of fame. And it's well done to Steve Roberts, our winner this morning. Well done, Steve, up there on the whiteboard of fame. Judder's on the way shortly. I'll see you for breakfast on Monday in for set.
There we go. What's that?
Tumbleweed.
Is it?
What did you want?
Nice one, brother.
Yeah, on that one.
See, that usurped, as you said, that usurped everything I've done on MovieDrone for the past 5 years.
Just
fuck the old M&E magazine and all that. You know, I'm on the whiteboard of fame on Sittingbourne FM for answering the question about the theme tune of a TV show. Right. It was a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, an easy one.
Got that right. I beat Lord Dino from East Street.
All right, do you want to tell me who did it?
And Dangerous Dan from East Church.
Who did it?
I don't know.
It's Joe Walsh, mate, wasn't it?
Was it?
Joe Walsh from the Eagles.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. And, yeah, so somewhere... In a studio somewhere is my name on a whiteboard.
Grimy whiteboard.
Do you reckon it's actually up there?
I'm going to say if it is, it's one of them really grimy ones he got out of Skip, and he wipes it off with his fleece, like what's that thing?
Sleeve.
And he just sort of writes it semi-over like Matt Johnson, who was on there the day before.
And he got like egg all down his front and that. I reckon it's fucking, oh dear. But anyway,
I've never heard someone so chuffed in their life.
I sent it to everyone. I was actually, someone recorded that for me at work because I was in a meeting and I came down and they'd written it on the whiteboard. Yeah. It went off that day at work.
Almost
it was like the best day.
We've when I won a competition on Invicta FM and won a Disney backpack.
Did you? I didn't win anything.
Oh, did you not? I've got my Disney backpack with a cup and everything.
Whiteboard of Fame. I'll do anything for a Disney backpack.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The answer was Pirates of the Caribbean ride, in case you're wondering.
Fuck me, that's quite recent.
I'm going to say it was 2010.
Has it? You went to Disney competitions when you're like 36.
Well,
Brilliant.
You could win an actual trip.
Right.
But obviously I didn't have kids and stuff, so they weren't going to give it to me, were they? So I got a Disney backpack.
They just fobbed you off. They said, this bloke's definitely on the list, entering these sorts of competitions with no kids. Get him off. Anyway, and then I'm also doing a marathon, started my training, legs really hurt, been seeing a personal trainer. That's not good, is it?
April, isn't it? The marathon?
Yeah. So,
the big one you're doing?
Yeah, London, Going to earn some money for wildlife people.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to share your Just Giving link?
It's already, I've already spoke to them, It's already a post on their Facebook. Yeah, of course I will, mate. Of course I will.
We'll share it on the Twitter.
Earn some money for some wildlife and that. Hey, how about that? Right, that's it, I think.
Might chuck in a few shekels myself.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. How about a Disney backpack? Let's auction that off.
I'll sell it off.
Only one very suspicious owner.
I've been using it for work for the last 12 years, mate. Ain't that much good a nick.
Oh dear. Have you got any thanks, mate?
I've got some repost thanks, mate, to Soundtrack Your Life, to Creative Psychopaths, to Tim, Keith Noakes, Dan Bradley, Mike and Oscar, Watch If You Can, WTM, Film Rage, Little Nick, Talk Nerdy to Me, and Louis Riehm.
Thank you very much to everyone for those reposts on the old X-a-Rooney. I've got special thanks this week to Jill, Cassie, Jamie Russell, Emma at Movies, LJ Human, Ian McIntyre, Mr. Positivity and Eric, Karim Helliwell, Ben and Paul from Filmbusters, Peter from Duel Podcast, Ryan, and Glyn's back on there. He's caught up a bit.
Oh, he's going to be happy.
Yeah, he's caught up a bit. So thank you very much, Glyn.
You probably drop me in when you decide to do stuff like that.
What?
Because you're like, I deal with the Twitter shit. So whatever you do, right, I'll get the blame for.
Well, I don't think anyone cares. And then it turns out that some people do.
Yeah.
So, it's a fun game, isn't it? Yeah. It's like social roulette. I'll play it. See if I can wind someone up.
See if you can get me shot. Yeah, nice one.
Hey. Promo.
Welcome to the podcast that wouldn't die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
What up, what up?
Each week, we'll explore the classics of the horror and sci-fi genre with a little comedic twist.
We will ask those important questions like, why don't they get out of the haunted house the first time they see the ghost or the demon?
Why do people feel like, hey, there's been a spooky disappearance, but I'm going to investigate myself, even though I have no investigative background?
Or, why didn't I realize I was dead the whole time?
These important questions and many others we will get to the bottom of. So check us out each week at the podcast that wouldn't die.
Be there or be square.
There's a podcast there with two of our favourite things on, which is the podcast that wouldn't die crew and the Vern.
Hey,
Vern's on there discussing Pearl.
Yeah,
one that you there's one of the new one of them coming out, isn't there?
Maxine.
Yeah. So that Pearl never really got much of a sort of release in that year. I think we were a bit ahead of our time, and when we did it at the start of the year, but it didn't really float my boat. So it'd be nice to listen to. Yeah, I know you did, but it'd be nice to listen to what these sensible people thought about it.
Probably loved it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, we have to have a listen. Yeah. So please listen to the podcast that wouldn't die with our lovely friend Vern on there as well.
Yeah, please.
Double bubble. Go on then.
Welcome to the Marc reads some film lines in some similar voices, and Steve has to guess the film from the lines read to get points game. Hashtag what's that film?
Yeah, so I've not got any sort of scores down. I can't remember what one it was. It's been a while, isn't it? Because we couldn't do one over Christmas. So really sorry. Just to let everyone know, I don't even know if I can bring this one out at the weekend yet. It might be like another week. I've got to work, but
I ain't going to read this till it's out. So
just throw it in. But, Anyway, so who got what and what was it?
So it was Gremlins.
Right.
Pretty much everyone got a 5 apart from Karim, who got a 0. So Gill, MovieDrone, LJ, Ryan, Glyn, 5s, Karim.
How's Karim got a 0?
He might not have seen it.
Oh, no, not seen it.
He might not have done, or he might have seen it once.
Right.
This is the thing, see, some of these films you hold dear, you think that, you assume everyone fucking loves them, don't you? And it's like the Goonies. I sort of talked to Miles about, Goonie, I've never seen it. He ain't really got...
Got to be honest, right? Even though I haven't got a list really of what I've watched this recent over the Christmas period and that, but we've actually been through a few like that. We had Goonies on and the Home Alones and all that, and I don't normally do it, but we did this year. So yeah, I've watched Goonies. Yeah.
Well, again, it's one. I think if you saturate, but sometimes if you get that nostalgia kick every 5 years or so, it's nice, isn't it?
If you say so. Yeah. You're going to watch the Drone that saved Christmas on your Christmas list. Okay. So, what you got for us this week?
Well, I've kept with what's that film, mate. I did nearly go rogue and change the whole fucking thing up and just think, you know what? New year, new start. Couldn't think of nothing. So I've stuck with it until I think of something. It might change again soon.
Okay. Be a mutiny.
Yeah, well, there's got to be something else out there. People was like, stop
doing impressions. Do some impressions.
No, done with that, mate. Done with that. For 5 points for you. What's that film? First one of 2024. 5 points. What's that film? Haven't you noticed? There aren't any children. Not one. And you got to really pay attention to the clues in this one, and it will tell you your film.
Oh dear. Do you know what I do? I do know. No, I don't know.
No. 4 points, mate. What's that film? Please, Mr. Coggins, you can't sell our lovely car to that nasty man. Hey!
We had that on over Christmas.
So did I. That's what I thought that'll do.
Oh dear.
Cass said to me, turn this shit off, I can't stand this film.
Really?
And I reacted in shock. Shock, mate. I was like, I'd never met anyone in the world who doesn't like this film.
It's a nice impression. That's probably what did it for me, yeah. All right.
Dick Van Dyke.
Go on then.
I can't remember who did this one, but let's go for it. 3 points. What's that film? Tomorrow is Baron Bombhurst's birthday, yes? Remember who said that one?
It weren't Baron Bombhurst.
No,
one of the others.
Yeah. Here we are. 2 points. What's that film? I don't trust a man who makes toys in a land where children are forbidden.
Right, go.
1 point. Here's your given for everyone who hasn't got it so far. And if you don't get it from this, you need to watch this. 1 point. What's that film? Lollipops, treacle tarts, and all free today.
Oh, dear God.
Classic.
Dear God. Benny Hill in there.
Yeah.
Should have played Benny Hill thing at the end. Oh, dear. But, well, there you go. There you go. Sort of Christmassy, I suppose, because it was on at Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I went for.
So if you think you know what it is, and let us know via DM how many points you think you got. All right, then. Moving on.
Yeah.
This is... And not surprisingly, I've lost track of where we are. I didn't see to this week's one come in.
No, you didn't, did you? Even though they sent it in to medias just to make sure we didn't miss
it.
Look.
Even though I was sitting there with COVID,
well,
with not much to do, I didn't bother looking.
Okay,
so it's highly unlikely that I know if we've got any in the bank. So.
Well, I think there's one in the bank, and typically we got a lukewarm reaction to our plea for questions. So, it is what it is.
We do one of those weeks where we just make them up on the spot.
I know. This is what people have got to put up with.
Good. Let's do it. Let's do that next week. All right. So where can people send us questions, mate?
They can send them via the old Exarooney, which is at movie_drone, or via email on moviedronepodcast@hotmail.com, or both, to try and make sure we see it.
Sort of. One of us.
One of us.
Yeah. Okay, then moving on again.
Yeah.
This is the next section. This is a section that we love to call... Question time.
Question time. Question time. Time for the question. Question time. Question time. Question time. Time for the question. Question time.
Okie dokie. Right, okay. So who's it from and what's it about?
It's from Mr. LJ Human, and it's one of them questions. I mean, it was the peak for me for last year. It's the question I got the most excited about in 23, and we're all answering it for the first time in 24. Because I've got lots of fun stories about my childhood in this one.
God, no.
But here he goes. He says, "Hi. I know by now Christmas has come and gone, but many of my favourite Christmas memories involve receiving VHS movies as gifts. The ongoing debate over physical media rumbles on, and I want to know what were the first VHS movies you remember owning / being given? Open bracket, not recorded off TV, close bracket, question mark."
Right, okay. Yeah. I mean, I've got to be honest, right? It's quite a long while for me. I think...
the same time as everyone else, I would have thought, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. But
You could have chucked some Betamax in there.
Oh, no, we had the choice. Betamax or VHS.
Yeah, we had both.
Luckily, we went for VHS.
And we had both.
Did you? And then, so I'm not quite sure if I got what... I know that I owned them. I'm not quite sure whether I got given them at Christmas or whether I bought them and stuff. Okay. I can't remember. But,
being given by the shopkeeper in exchange for money. Works, doesn't it?
All right, there you go. All right, what you got then?
So LJ's number 5, mate, is Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine that was quite a good one back in the day.
Well, I talked to Gill about it the other day, and I think I had my VHSs until I moved into my new house a few years ago. And I chucked them on the skip. I
took mine to a boot fair and doing them free for £1, and people was refusing to buy them because they were too cheap. And I was like, please take them. I had like 400. And I ended up chucking them in the skip. And now I look at all the...
Yeah, people are collecting that, yeah.
I know, gutted, mate.
Oh, yeah? Are you really? They'd just be lying around, wouldn't they? With all
definitely be lying around doing nothing.
You know what I mean? You'd have to buy an old video and that. And then
realise how bad quality it was. And I've actually got the DVD or Blu-ray version
and
of
then just realise that it's just on telly anyway, and just realise it's not worth it.
I wouldn't mind if I had one of them old machines where you had to do the manual tracking.
Yeah.
Auto track's not so fun, is it?
I bet, if you had a copy of like Basic Instinct, you wouldn't be able to track that in.
Anyway, mate, my number 5, one of my first ones I remember, was Pinocchio. PINOCCHIO, right? And it was his special edition one. And on the front was a little gem. And you pressed it and these LED lights lit up and it did an annoying tinny sound of the theme song.
Right.
It was amazing. Probably drove... I mean, I distinctly remember the red gem being white by the time I'd finished with it, because I'd think... So I probably annoyed my mum and dad with that one.
Fucking hell.
I remember that. I remember I was a bit younger than you in VHSs and stuff. So.
My number 5 is a film that I tried to watch again fairly recently and realised that it probably wasn't as good. But it was one that had a bit of a profound effect on me when I was younger, and it's Enemy Mine.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's a story of like two different races, like an alien and another. I think it was a human who get stranded on a planet.
Right.
So there's like elements of like racism and stuff like that, and undertones.
Deep.
It was quite deep, yeah. And I watched it like fairly recently again, and realised it's not a great film, but it was quite good then. Quite good.
Okay. Luke's number 4, mate, Alien. And in brackets, he said, I had sent my dad out to get me Aliens. So I was not best pleased.
I mean, Alien is a very, very good film, but probably not the shoot-up fest that he was after.
Right. They are.
With Alien. Aliens.
That S matters, Dad. That S matters. My number 4, Paul Rudd's best movie ever, Mac and Me. Oh, I fucking loved Mac and Me when it come out. When I got that for Christmas. Oh, highlight of mine.
Should have kept that one.
I'll be honest, I might have it somewhere.
Have you?
I think I got it at the flat. I think there was a few I kept. And I believe Mac and Me was one.
Was it?
Yeah. I've got the DVD though, so it's all right.
My number 4, is it?
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
1986 one.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's quite a long time ago.
Yeah, it's got a decent film, mate.
It was a decent film. Yeah, the first one. I saw one. The new ones. Not interested in.
Oh.
No, I'm still not interested in. I don't really want to see the new one.
Right.
Like when it comes out. If I'm honest.
Yeah, a bit too Paul Ruddy for you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, fucking Paul Rudd. And the old ones are in it.
After
again.
Macamee, mate, his career just nosedived.
But yeah, so Ghostbusters.
Okay. Luke's number 3, mate. The Fly. Solid old entry, that. The Fly.
Right. Was he a bit young for that, was he? Because I've got to be honest, like my ones, some of my ones here, I think were rated a little bit higher, and I think I must have got me my cousins to get it for me.
Well, I might have a story about that coming up. Yeah.
I've not included like the ones that I know that I had that I certainly shouldn't have done, the old video nasty ones and all that. I've tried to be a bit more mainstream in mine.
Okay.
But The Fly, blimey.
Mine,
what would that have been, an 18 or 15 or 18 then,
I
wasn't
suppose
it?
it would have been an 18 then, wouldn't it? We'd have all gasped with horror. My number 3, mate, is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, I got given this, right? And I distinctly remember, do you know that little plastic sleeve that went round to hold the little paper bit in?
Yeah.
That bit got cut off.
Right.
So my bit of paper was on the inside.
Right.
So it looked a little bit like cloudy because you couldn't see it. It stuck with me, that. I don't know why. It was just inside. I watched that a lot, that film, when I shouldn't have been.
No, I mean, I had things like Poltergeist and stuff like that, you know. I haven't included them on this list, but probably shouldn't have had them.
Yeah. No, I definitely shouldn't have had Nightmare on Elm Street when I had it, but...
My number 3?
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Oh, nice.
It's a bit of a sci-fi person. You know what? I sat there the other day and thought to myself, I'm going to watch Blade Runner 2049 again, and not because it's got Anna de Armas in it. A little bit maybe because it's got Anna de Armas in it. But I was thinking it's probably a better film than I remember when I watched it first time round. Okay. But yeah, the original Blade Runner, always a fan of that.
Okay, cool. Luke's number 2, mate. The Terminator.
The first one?
The first one.
Right, okay. He didn't send his dad out for Terminator 2, did he? And got a surprise with that one, though.
No, he clearly liked Arnie, though.
Okay.
Clearly liked Arnie. My number 2, mate, I remember this one like it was only yesterday, walking in town with my brother. For some reason, this was in the days where you could just go AWOL. So I think we was at a family party in, I'm going to guess, it would have been UK Paper.
Right.
We wandered through the high street because we was bored. Went into the Forum, into John Menzies, and in the basket in John Menzies, I was doing box sets of 3 VHSs for a tenner. I happened to have a tenner with me and asked my brother to get me some VHSs. And it was a box set of Still Dawn with Patrick Swayze, Terminator 2, and The Running Man.
It's a bit weird that they got like 2 Arnie ones in there and then Still Dawn with Patrick Swayze, isn't it?
I mean, it's John Menzies, mate. Well, I don't know. What was going on.
They packaged that up.
But I mainly wanted it because it was an 18.
Right.
And I probably shouldn't have had it. But I loved The Running Man.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched Still Dawn more than once, and I weren't a Terminator fan.
Well, you're not?
No.
All right.
Yeah, it was all right.
I mean, it's more than all right, but...
Yeah, it's all right, wasn't it?
Maybe it was like 80s action hero box set.
Possibly.
But, well, maybe 80s action heroes plus Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. But yeah, John Menzies, mate. Throwback.
It is. My number, what is it?
2.
2 is Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
So I'd have been a Star Wars fan by then. Star Wars a little bit early, I think, to have first time round. Empire Strikes Back. I was collecting all the figures and stuff.
Oh.
I think it was before I started turning all my figures into wrestlers.
Okay.
So I went through a stage where, like, I built. You know, you can buy these wrestling rings and that.
Yeah.
Well, you was allowed to like make your own shit when you was so I had a bit of wood and some massive, great big fucking nails. So I just like went and I remember getting a hammer and hammering these nails into the corner of this bit of wood, and then like just covering it with something that looked like a ring and making my own wrestling ring.
It works, mate. A bit of imagination. You won't get kids doing that now.
No, I had a Gamorrean guard and I put a blue tack mask on him. And I made my own belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite dangerous, this rusty nail thing. But no, it was that was a sort of a little bit later. then I watched the films. I got bored of the figures. Should have kept them.
Yeah, I know.
Lost them in my mum's loft.
Did you?
Yeah,
I
all
had a
still
load.
dressed as wrestlers. I wonder whoever found them thought, what the fuck has this prick been doing with these?
I had a load, and I had a load of the original Turtles and all.
There you go.
Be watching them on Antiques Roadshow in a few years, thinking I had that.
Yeah, my old Gamorrean guard with like a blue tack thing, bit of Lego stuck in it. Fucking hell. Oh dear.
Luke's number one, mate. Another Arnie one, Commando.
What?
He loved it, didn't he?
Yeah.
He loved it.
He did,
Proper
yeah.
old man's list he's got going on here.
Do you reckon he had a knife? Do you reckon he had like a knife? Used to
Plastic one.
Used to be able to have knives, didn't you? And that take
I
them
reckon he
down.
had one in hard plastic ones. You got down the market.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
My number one, mate. Now, I remember this vividly because it's difficult to understand. It's difficult to comprehend I could be like this, but I was the biggest wanker in the world over this.
Really?
Yeah, I know, it's hard. I had a proper old issy fit, and I feel so bad for my poor mum. I really do. I was in Woolies, saw this VHS I wanted. Now, she was like, sorry, mate, can't have it. I kicked off, mate. I'm not going to lie, I kicked off. I wanted that fucking VHS. Because, in my head, right, we just moved house. So they had just spent 45 grand, right, and all I wanted was a tenner, right? I didn't understand mortgages and borrowing and all that shit then. I just shouldn't have had 45 grand in their bank. So off they went. I kicked off. How can you have that? It weren't until later in the day I realised quite how brassic and it had got explained to me.
Right.
I realised why I couldn't have it. But then it turned up. Somehow they had scraped together a tenner, gone down to Woolies and got it for me. And it was old Jalla.
God.
I know. I still got that in the flat.
They probably thought, fucking, we'll teach this prick.
I can't.
We'll give him this. This will give him nightmares. And he
tell you
won't be
what.
asking for no tenners again.
I had to hold on to it just because that meant when I'm now as an adult, I mean know how much that tenner meant to my mum and dad because I was a cock.
I mean,
I just didn't understand it, you know, but there we are.
Sentimental story there. Probably
Yeah.
lost on me.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Oh, you wouldn't give a fuck, would you?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Probably would have just took the tenner out your mum's purse and gone and got it.
I used to. I used to shoplift.
I'll have one of
Star
them.
Wars figures. I just used to shoplift.
I'll have that one out of
The
Blundell's.
police used to beat you up.
Really?
Yeah. When I got caught shoplifting, when I was nicking Star Wars figures, and it weren't because I was I didn't have a lot of money, you know what I mean? And I remember my mate, we got caught, and I remember telling my mate to cry. I said, like, just cry, and they'll let us off. We was only quite young, but he gave him a few slaps. The police officer, yeah. He didn't do it again.
I nicked a cream egg from Max once, and I was racked with guilt for days.
Were you?
Never stole anything again.
Well, yeah.
Racked with guilt.
And we got beaten up. That was good. Good old policing
Yeah.
in that time. So my number one is a film that you don't really get to see on TV and that a lot. I don't know if it's really politically correct and that anymore, but I used to love it. It's Time Bandits.
Weirdly, I think I've seen that on recently.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Was it on one of the
Really?
Sky channels, like Sky Retro or
Was
something
it?
like
I
that?
don't know. I
Right.
very rarely see it come
Okay.
up. I'm sure if I speak into my Sky box,
Probably
it'll
cut
come
to
up. but-
buggery.
Yeah, possibly.
All the good bits are gone.
Yeah. Time Bandits.
Yeah, 13 minutes.
I'm just not sure how it would sort of hold up now, but I seem to remember it being that of a fantastic film that it's worth watching even in adulthood.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Luke, and your plastic sword.
Yeah, I didn't include any
for
of the... We used to get loads of Disney ones with people's heads in going to the toilet off the back of lorries. Where it's literally filmed off a camera. Loads
I
of
mean,
them,
we
mate.
all had all them lot on the video nasties. Hunting out the video nasties in the 80s and whatever, when it was on the nasty list, was just like a fucking hobby of mine, man. That was just
try and find a
crazy
copy.
fun, that was. Driller Killer and shit. Great times that was.
Do you ever do any recording tape to tape and then get the little bit of paper and put in the tab?
Well, you always got the paper and put in the tab, didn't you? You always had to, yeah. Yeah, good.
Happy old days.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Watching shit films on shit tellies.
With shit quality.
No remote. No. You know what I mean? Have to get out and do it. Okay, yeah. It's lucky that I wasn't so fucking lazy as I am now, because I just wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? So thank you very much for that, Luke.
I bet you never rewound it on the tape before you put it back in the case, though, did you? You was one of them pricks.
Auto rewind, I had.
Did you? Yeah. You had an auto rewinder?
Yeah. Later on in life.
Check you out.
Yeah, it used to get to the end and then just rewind. I'd just leave it and do that.
So we had top loaders.
Yeah, I've had top loaders.
Yeah, I didn't have auto. Oh, mind you, I might have had in my later days.
From Radio Rentals, we used to rent them.
So
right, yeah. So we used to get like an upgrade because you used to be able to. They used to do an offer like for an extra 50p or whatever, an upgrade. So that's why we sort of went through them fairly quick because we didn't buy them.
Right.
We always rented them.
Yeah, no, I think we used to have like my nan and granddad got a new one. We had their old one and shit like that. So we ended up with a couple of the top loaders and a Betamax and bits like that. I was living the dream, mate.
Yeah, there we go. Sounds like it. All right.
Yeah.
So, there's some people who just watch that shit on those shitty things now because they think it's cool.
I'm so cool, man. He's like, I
know the Vern watches, so I know he's got his old telly and all that, and some special films, but I don't know.
I'll get the vinyl one because actually it's a better sound, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you think, actually, I'm hearing something. But yeah, going back, I can imagine it's nice for a couple of bits of nostalgia. And then after that, I think I'd be like, yeah, I'm just going to watch a good one now.
Yeah. Just speak into your skybox and be fucking done with. So, okay. All right. Thanks very much, Luke.
Yeah.
For that lovely question. All right then, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this. We've taken the easy route out.
Yeah.
So we can't say we saw a film. We saw loads of films.
We did.
So what are we doing?
Well, I mean, we got 5 each, haven't we?
Yeah, I just want to say before I start that this is obviously our best of.
Yeah.
We've got some chats about some films that we sort of probably didn't like as well. Best of 2023. I just want to say a few films that I've not included in this because I didn't see.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Barbie.
No, me neither. I've got ones I want to see but have yet to. So I've got Barbie.
Yeah. Oppenheimer I tried to watch, but I've been in very, very one of those moods where I just can't concentrate on stuff because I'm quite tired. I haven't got there yet. So Oppenheimer, Jill watched. I didn't concentrate on. Killers of the Flower Moon.
It's on mine.
I watched the first half hour or so, and then I think I was falling asleep, so I haven't got there yet. And then I think for one more for me, which is it Poor Things, the Yorgos Lanthimos one? Which
I don't think we've officially got that over.
We've not got it yet. I thought it was out.
It might be. I don't know for certain, but I thought
it came out before Christmas, so maybe I am mistaken on that one, but those are mine. I don't know if you got anything else.
Mine would be that one as well. I've got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, which you didn't go much on anyway. I've not got there yet. And one I really wanted to see, and I don't know why I haven't got there yet, but it was Asteroid City.
Right, okay.
I really wanted to see that one, but I've not got there yet.
I saw probably about the first half hour of that.
Yeah.
Really wanted to see it. It didn't really click with me straight away. I didn't think it was awful. It doesn't come up on any of my lists.
Right.
I've got here. So I've got some bits. I've got some honorary mentions. I've got my top 5. I've got some films I hated, and I've got some films that were disappointments. But really, the main thing that we're talking about is our top 5.
I've got my top 5s. I've got a nearly list. I've got a meh list and a nope list.
Blimey.
And we done all right, haven't we?
Considering we don't talk about it. No, yeah. So what we're going to do? We're going to do our top 5?
Yeah, should we go 5 and 5?
Hokey dokey.
You go first, mate. Let's change it up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Blimey. All right. So my number 5 is Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Have you seen Thanksgiving?
I have not. This is the horror, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah. So
after you saying that with horror, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I watched it. I actually got quite excited that I had a new horror film that I'd heard wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And I had the chance to watch it, and I did. And you know what? I did enjoy it.
That's top 5, mate.
2023, though, hasn't been a great year when I look back. Not a great year.
Nope.
There's a lot of films that I'm like on the cusp that could have been in the 4 or 5.
My nearly list's quite big.
Yeah. And my honourable mentions is a bit... It's not great, but it's quite a few films. But anyway, it goes back to the days where you watch a horror film and you can try and guess who the killer is. Now, we have a lot of the films where you get the remakes of certain people with Michael Myers and Jason and that, and remakes of the old ones that you sort of know who is the killer. But this actually, me and Jill Jill actually watched it as well, and we actually spent most of the film trying to guess who the killer was. And I found that quite fun.
Yeah.
And she got it right. About halfway through, she clicked and got it, and it sort of made sense. So there's certain bits I didn't like. The mask wasn't great, but some of the kills were quite good. The character itself was quite good. The story was reasonably good. There's a table scene where people around the table, he gets people around, that was reminiscent of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Some good kills. I actually really enjoyed it. It was one of those throwaway, I'm going to watch this film. And it sort of took me back to, I'm going to say, my sort of Scream views.
Okay.
Not the first one, really, but, some of the lesser ones.
Yeah.
But for the fact that it was a horror film and I said that I was done with horror, I have got it at number 5.
Oh, that's nice, mate. My number 5, mate. Now, I've done my list on UK cinema releases because that was a link I could find because I could remember at what point we had got access to certain ones. So my number 5, I don't think I went hugely amount on this first watch. I've since read a lot about it and watched it again. And the second time round, although bits in it that were still annoying and crazy, the second watch was so much stronger than the first, mate, and it's Infinity Pool.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it was one of them, so mad, so reminiscent of certain other films we've got, like the bits of Mandy and the home invasion type things and the colour palette and the little twists and turns and trying to work out. I think it's a better film than I thought it was.
All right.
And I had a choice on my number 5 between this and another one. And this one just squeezed it for me purely. I think
Mia Goth.
Mia Goth certainly helped. I think she's a fantastic actress. I loved X. I loved Pearl. I'm waiting for Maxine, but I think she did get annoying at times. I did want to punch her in the head a couple of times when she was getting a little bit screechy, a little bit screamy. But I think this if I'm honest, I think the other one I probably enjoy more and I think is more me as a film. But this one actually made me want to watch it again, do a bit of reading and appreciate it a bit more. And I think that says a lot about a film.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. My number 4, is it? So this is a film that Jules rolled her eyes at me watching. It's not my normal sort of film. It's a film that I had read about and I've seen recently. So it's a late addition to the list. But, I had liked it. I had some laugh out loud moments and there's one performance, or actually 2 performances in it. And I believe that they might have won Golden Globes for them recently. Didn't see the Golden Globes, but Jill said that they did win.
Okay.
And it's a film called The Holdovers.
Okay.
And it's all about Paul Giamatti for me. There's some fantastic sort of one-lines. There's some ongoing gags about he's got an eye that goes to the shops and the other one coming back with a change. There's some bits around there. The actual premise is that he is a teacher, quite a strict teacher who gets stuck in his boarding school with the kids that can't go home. And in the end, it's only one of them that's there, and it's their sort of journey to sort of get to know each other and lighten up. But there's a story that goes through with a black lady who lost a kid, and some of these characters are just so well written. I sat down and watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was laughing out loud in certain places, and if they did win the Golden Globes for these performances or some sort of performance, maybe in a drama or in an indie film or whatever, well deserved. Yeah, very well deserved. Paul Giamatti was fantastic.
I have to check that one out. My number 4, mate, is a beautiful film that I was worried wouldn't live up to the hype. Do you know when a film gets hyped and everyone's like, this is the most amazing thing?
Yeah, most of the things on my disappointment list.
Yeah, pretty much. You know that thing where you actually walk in and you think, this is going to be fucking amazing. You walk out 2 hours later going, what the fuck have I watched? Or why do people like this so much? I still don't think this hit the hype that it banded around for me personally with regards to the film, but the acting I was a huge fan of, and it kept me captivated, and it was The Whale. The Whale. It was absolutely brilliant, and I really, really enjoyed it, and I felt Brendan Fraser's acting, and I think he deserves so much more than what he got for it. But it was stunning.
It was. It's my number 3.
Oh, okay.
The Whale. Brendan Fraser's return. I mean, everything from the costumes and just everything, it was hyped up about Brendan Fraser, but, the performance was great. The film itself, touching, I imagine, for many people. I just found the story good. I liked all the characters that sort of came and went, and the fact that they had all those underlying sub stories. But you're right, I thought it was a great film. I really did. Almost forgotten about. I say that, like, I looked back and it almost feels for me like it wasn't out this year. It was out prior to it.
This is why I've highlighted on our UK release dates, because I'm not sure whether, I assume America got it before us, because I think this is where the hype comes from. Everyone was bigging this film up and it's utterly amazing. I think, like, the teenage angst bit, I wasn't taken with all of it. There was elements in there where I just thought, I just don't quite get it, but I think Brendan Fraser was just this ray of sunshine in this whole film, and the way his character was written and the judgment and the payoffs, and there was certain bits in there. The one that hit me the hardest, I think, was a pizza man who you thought was going to be his friend and was just a cock. It was just great. What a comeback. If you're going to come back and do a film, that was it.
Get yourself in a big fat suit and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right. Your number 3?
My number 3 then, mate. Another one I thought more of on a second watch. Probably won't shock you to know what it is, but Mia Goth special, right? I can't wait for Maxine.
Right.
This one's Pearl.
Right.
And you're lucky I've got a clip for this one, if you want a clip, mate. Just going to stop that and put it on the right sound bank so you don't get the drone that saved Christmas clip.
Please, Lord, make me the biggest star the world has ever known, so that I'll make it far, far away from this place.
Well, caring for your family during these times is admirable, but you only get one take at this life.
If only they would just die.
Pardon?
Nothing. I want to be special, dancing up on the screen like the pretty girls in the pictures.
I will not let you leave this farm again.
Reminds me of like a horror video game sort of soundtrack. That does. Yeah.
But I think when this come out, I think I preferred X.
I want to watch that again.
Yeah,
I do.
I watched it again.
But the kills are fucking boring, aren't they? They use guns and that, and you know that was what we said about X.
Yeah,
I did. I didn't like the actual kills, which I thought were.
It was difference between tropes and odes to other films, wasn't it? And it needed a little bit more originality rather than, I think, the bit it came out with, which was that ode to horror.
Yeah.
But I think originally it was X over Pearl. I think Pearl has taken that now. After watching X again and watching Pearl again, stunning.
Yeah,
really excited.
Yeah, I mean, so I want to watch X again. I'm not so sure that I am as invested as you. Maxine, I might like a bit more. You know,
considering it was one, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering right, it was a bit of a COVID project where they was just like a bit bored.
Yeah,
and I think to get these two films out of it, and if Maxine lives up to it, I think that's great.
Yeah, okay. So my number 2,
yep,
I think we got a clip for this.
Remember Marcus Markovich?
You gotta make that!
Well, he got fired.
Marcus, get off the court.
Oh! That wasn't nice. Nothing but bad news for the Iowa Stallions.
What an idiot.
Mr. Markovich, I will offer you community service. Coaching adults with intellectual disabilities.
Your Honor, we're talking no boo-boo words.
Okay, fellas, we're going to do a simple ball handling exercise.
My girlfriend, what's this?
Now, you know, we've had many a film with people with learning disabilities and that in that you can say have not been done as well as this one.
Yep.
I thought this one was done absolutely fantastically. I thought everybody on set seemed like they were having a ball. The energy came over. I thought Woody Harrelson was just fantastic in his role. And my number 2 film of the year is Champions.
It was really good, mate. It was really good. I got really angry with this film initially because it premiered on Sky.
Yeah.
For some reason, my Skybox had a bit of a moment, right? And I don't know if you know, I'm a little bit autistic. Now, once I'd set my mind on, I wanted to watch Champions, right? And it weren't having it. And I unplugged it, and I nearly threatened to put it on the front garden. And that night, I sulked all night because I wanted to watch it. And she was like, it's winding you up. And I was like, stop it. I'm going to ring them up, tell them to come and get their box. So I had to watch it the next day it come out.
I do that. I always say I'm going to ring them up.
I'm going to ring them up. Come get your box. It's on the front garden. But I really, really enjoyed it. There's not many films that I laugh out loud to that actually give me a real good belly laugh. And it's a special film that makes you realise you're laughing with them, not at them.
Yeah.
I think that's a big...
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think there's films that sort of have been made prior to this to where you could almost, I don't know, you almost stop and think, am I sort of getting carried away and laughing at them? But these actors were great.
The comedy timing was incredible, and I think the work they put in with them, and you saw the scenes at the end, like the little party and some of the outtakes. They look like they had a fucking ball filming this.
And Woody Harrelson was just perfect, I think, for this role.
It was absolutely great, mate, and that was a recommendation from you that I don't think I would have watched without you saying it.
There we go.
And I thought that was great.
Cool.
My number 2, mate. I'm riding high a little bit on this one. I might be a bit too excited. But it's fresh, it's new, and it's Saltburn. Right. Now, I would love to have done an episode on this one. Love to. I think this was right down our street.
You still can. Yeah, man. I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I have seen it.
Right. But there was I've been having such an amazing time reading posts on Twitter with this one, because there's a lot of people getting upset that others really rate it, right? Proper cocks flexing their review muscles, right, who think that's something they're not. Like, we all watch films, we've all got our own opinions. Whether you believe that's an educated opinion or not, if I liked it, I liked it. If I didn't, I didn't. And I can think what I like about it, and you going, well, actually, if you compare it to this film from 19... Fuck off. I liked it. Right?
Well, it's like the talented, they're comparing it to the talented Mr. Ripley, aren't they?
It's just, it's so snobby. Pull your head out your arse and let people watch
in a
film.
way, you could almost say that it is like a more recent talented Mr. Ripley, because you're allowed to go more extreme nowadays. And obviously there's some scenes in it, I'm going to say the bathtub scene and stuff like that, which you could say was put in there for shock value and shock value only. But I believe it to have similarities, but
I'm sure it has. But most films do, you can take a bit of this and you take a bit of that. But you don't have to be a film aficionado to watch film and enjoy it, and let people enjoy it. If they enjoy it, let them fucking enjoy it. Like, people go, "Oh, your opinion doesn't really matter because I'm actually a huge film fan." Fuck off, mate. I loved it. Yeah, I weren't shocked. Do I think it's a massive awards competitor? No. Have I got me issues with it? Did Barry Keogh keep coming from Scouse to something else? Was that deliberate because of the character he was swapping to? I don't know whether I want to give him that credit or whether it just kept slipping. I don't know. But I thought it was solid, well acted, written, and it looked fucking great. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Especially the last 3 minutes. Murder on the dance floor. Flipping that around, wasn't he? Yeah. He was flipping that around.
I said to you, I know why you wanted to watch this.
I looked at Cass and I just nodded to her and I went, fair play to the fella.
That weren't real cocaine he had.
He must have given out a couple of slaps beforehand.
That's what I'm saying. It weren't real cocaine.
Nudges, wasn't it?
That was disappeared. Yeah. In half the man he was.
He gave her a couple of nudges, I
know. Okay. All right then. I believe we've got a clip from my number 1.
We have, mate.
Play it, Sam.
Why does the zebra look the way it does? So embarrassing. Hey, focus.
Is this how it went?
No, it's different now. Oh, you've been on my mind recently.
Yeah?
Because you keep popping up in my dreams. You don't do anything, you're just there. So, this specific person, the remarkable nobody, I've also had that experience.
Do you have a picture?
Have you been dreaming about me?
Have I been dreaming about you?
Yeah.
Now, I mean...
This looks fucking great, I'm going to be honest with you. You kept saying about it. I recorded the clip last night. I watched the trailer and I was like, this looks fucking great.
So, It was a film that we discussed, I think, when we had a film that A24 brought out, and I was a bit concerned that they were going to go down the same path as Blue Mouse. And I believe we discussed at the time that there was a film called Dream Scenario that was A24 that for me, the premise was brand new. Now, you can't say that often nowadays, where, you know, the premise of it is where people just all dream about this same person. I mean, what a great new idea. Yeah. Someone might argue with me.
It's been actually not a new idea, because if you go to 1984...
Exactly, I know, or a book or something. I don't fucking know. But for me, I haven't really heard it. And it's got Nicolas Cage in it. Couldn't have been a better starting point for me. There are some commentaries in it, social commentary about it's around people who he wants to be recognised, famous for something, and it has got a social commentary about people who just want to be famous, and it does show sort of like the pitfalls and that. So there is a story in there, but there's just some great scenes. I mean, he turns up in everyone's dream. Just for a start, I don't really want to ruin it, but just doing nothing. He's just in them, just walking past and stuff, you know. And like, when you sort of think about whether you that person, if everybody that you knew just went, I was dreaming about you last night, and it's expanded to 80% of the world. Such a great idea. There's a bit that I thought was a bit shitty later on, where they bring in this, towards the end of the film, there's these like bits where they bring in this like dream machine thing. Again, because you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. So it did have its downsides towards the end. But I just thought it was fantastic. And I don't think anyone else could have really played it, because he needed to play that character the way I think that only Nicolas Cage could. And for me, just fantastic. It's a recent watch, and it just went straight to number one. Okay. Loved it.
I watched his Wogan entrance again today.
Did you?
Yeah.
I saw it the other day. Brilliant.
Amazing.
I know. Well, there you go. It's my number one for 2023 is A Dream Scenario.
Looking forward to seeing that one, mate. My number one, very early in the year, I bet some of the Americans are going, oh, it's 2022 film, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We didn't get it till late, mate. I'm telling you. And it is amazing. It's beautiful. It's stunning. Entirely underappreciated. And I think this is potentially one people will appreciate a little bit more in future years. I'm going to play a clip, give you a clue.
I think what we have here in Hollywood is high art. It's
Party time! Sparkle time!
If you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go?
I always want to be part of something bigger.
Yes.
Let's go! Something that lasts, that means something.
You know, when I first moved to LA,
I got your face tattooed on my back.
you know what the signs on all the doors read? No actors or dogs allowed. I changed that.
Good morning. Good job for you. I'll do anything.
That's the cocksucker they sent to screw us.
Was this 2023, was it?
I'll release just into 23 in January.
Probably why I missed it being in any of my lists, to be honest.
Yeah, well, this is why I've put it into making sure that people know this is UK cinema release dates, because it sort of was crouching around into late 22, but I just think it's an amazing film. I loved watching the behind the scenes stuff and the way people could sort of fall into the movies back then. You didn't have to have this big sucky up career. You could just be walking somewhere and they go, oh, you look good in the movies. And then next day you're a movie star.
That's how I got into modelling.
Was it?
Yeah.
In Easy, was it walking down Sittingbourne High Street?
Hand modelling.
I went,
Joe Tribbiani.
We're looking for some very girly hands to sell our hand cream, sir. Put them around.
Never done a day's work though.
Jill took some of your Brundle fly off with some tweezers and away you went.
Don't do that no more. No, not that intimate anymore.
Do your own.
I just let them grow.
But yeah, I genuinely think it was a great film, and I think it's going to get more appreciated, or I hope it gets more appreciated, because I think it was one of them that kind of came and went.
I don't think it will get more appreciated.
Do you not?
No, I don't. I don't think it will. But it was a good watch.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so long, I'd probably watch it again. But I will do it at some point.
I've watched it thrice now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right. You got time to burn though, haven't you, over Christmas, you?
Well, this was on planes and stuff this year, flying around and stuff, you know, rock star lifestyle that I've got.
Saying,
Just sitting on planes. I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch that again.
Okay.
And just having that soundtrack as well, the score in your headphones with just you is great.
Okay. So Babylon for Mark, Dream Scenario for Steve.
Yep.
Let us know what you think of our choices. Honorary mentions. Do you want to do a list or shall I do mine?
Do yours first, mate.
The first 2 acts of Beau is Afraid.
Okay.
I thought those were good. C2.
Yeah.
Blackberry.
Okay.
Dumb Money.
Yeah.
Pain Hustlers. Air. That was a good film. That was a good storytelling. Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
Sympathy for the Devil. And I've got Saltburn on there as well. Those are honourable mentions.
Okay. My Beau is Afraid didn't make any of my lists. And I'll explain that later in the alsos. If we're doing alsos?
I'm not. No,
all right. Well, I'll do it now. I genuinely believe there's a great film in there. I think I need another watch, at least, or 2 to get the feel for it.
The first act, when he's in the
amazing.
the flat, the apartment or whatever, was just absolutely amazing. I thought it was going to be one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. I thought it was crazy and fun. Second one I thought was creepy, and it just lost its way at the end. It just because, for me, very pretentious and. I know it's been said about it before, but I just lost a bit of interest towards the end, you know.
See, I'm wondering now, knowing what I'm going into, whether it's going to improve. Right. And I think that definitely needs a second watch before I put it into any list. But my very nearly's made it. I've got Evil Dead Rise in there. I thought that was solid. Air for me. A Good Person. I like that probably a bit more than you did.
Yeah.
Sisu. Empire of Light, again, I really enjoyed it. Equalizer 3, I think it got a bad rap. I thought it was decent. I actually preferred it to some of the other ones. I liked the way they set the scene. I thought it looked beautiful. I rated it. And then the one that nearly made it was The Fabelmans.
Right.
Beautiful film. Actually one I really enjoyed. Like a little warm hug to cinema. Similar to like Babylon, Fabelmans, both of them films, that little ode to cinema. We had that little run, didn't we?
Yeah. Films that I definitely did not like this year.
Yeah.
I've got The Drone That Saved Christmas. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Right.
Not great for me. The Nun 2 and Exorcist Believer.
Yeah.
I didn't like those. And then the 2 worst ones, The Flash. I wasn't sure I was going to like that anyway. There was a lot of talk about Mark Keaton coming back as Batman and that, but I just can't stand the character of The Flash. And probably the worst one for me is Expendables 4.
Okay. I've seen it, have no intention.
Have you not? I've got a disappointed list and it didn't even make that. I can't. It's just terrible. It was just awful film. So those are my 5 worst, 5 or 6 hated films.
Okay, my note list for the year, mate, was Fast X, Exorcist Believer, Meg 2, Nun 2, Five Nights at Freddy's. More I realised no. And the new Hunger Games one, the ballad one, Songs and Snakes or something. I find it really conflicted. It's like we are watching the evil bastard from the first 3 or 4 films, and we're trying to humanise him and make him a nice guy, and then turn him so he's like the hero in the film to become it was just so confusing and conflicted. I don't think it was good.
Right. It's also something I couldn't care less about.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
But I'd love the character and the fact actually he was quite this nice guy. It just lost me. Just lost me.
I've got a list here of disappointed.
Yeah.
Not really hated, but just expected better. Yeah. I've got third act of Beau's Afraid.
Yeah.
I've got Meg 2.
Yeah. You expected better.
Did you not? Did you not expect that they would?
I got exactly what I expected.
Really? Did you not expect that they would try? That they would be a better film than the first one? That they would do better? I thought that they would. Cocaine Bear.
Okay. Hadn't even considered that one. I don't think it would make any.
Extraction 2.
Okay.
Saw X.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And that film 65 with what's his name?
Yeah, it's
Adam
watchable.
I just thought that there's a lot of films there where I just thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to be a little bit of fun with this, and I did not really. Okay. So it's on the cusp of being hated, but it's more of a disappointment.
So
which is almost worse, isn't it?
Yeah,
almost
it is.
worse.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
My meh list, mate. I've only got a few on there. Probably would have had a couple of yours as well, but I got Talk to Me.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think
would have
that
said
could
that'd
have
been shit.
It's in that
I forgot
area.
we done that.
Yeah. Weirdly, Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
I wouldn't put it in a nope shit list, but I certainly wouldn't put it in the good list. And John Wick 4.
Right, okay, yeah, we watched John Wick 4, didn't we? Yeah,
it just...
Bit disappointing. That would have been in my disappointment list.
Yeah.
So would Talk to Me, actually. Talk to Me and John Wick 4 would have been in disappointments.
Yeah.
Not hated.
No.
Just expected
exactly where
better.
mine is.
And Dungeons and Dragons I didn't have any interest in watching whatsoever. No.
It was all right.
I remember the first one.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, well, there we go.
Yeah.
That was it. Year in review.
Hey, well done us.
Are we still doing the homework?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
I've put it out on Twitter, so we better.
Moving on.
Yep.
This is the next section. This is the section we have to call Homework. And there we go. So this is a section where we give each other films that we love and the other one hasn't seen in the hope of uncovering hidden gems. It's me to you this week. I gave you a 2023 film directed by Craig Gillespie, starring Paul Dano, Pete Davidson, Vincent D'Onofrio, Shailene Woodley, Seth Rogen. Running time of 104 minutes, 30 million budget, only taking 20 million at the box office, 6.9 on IMDb, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, with a synopsis of David versus Goliath tale about everyday people who flipped the script on Wall Street and got rich by turning GameStop, the video game store, into the world's hottest company. I gave you 2023's Dumb Money.
Yeah, it did, mate. Interesting. It didn't make any of your lists, didn't it? There we are. I really, really enjoyed it, mate.
Because we're talking about it on the it would have been a media. It's a homework film. It's not like a, why does it have to?
I just interesting. That was all. Just pointing out. I really, really enjoyed it. I really liked the story.
Didn't make your list.
I couldn't. Well, it does got a sentence about that. Yeah. I had to sit for a YouTube video to try and understand some of the terms they was using.
Yeah, but that's some of the fun.
Yeah.
As what I said to you before, I like these banking things, but I don't understand none of them.
And she was like, what's so-and-so? And I'm going, I think it's so-and-so. Hang on, pause it. Go through. Yeah, we've got that. It would have gone into my nearly list.
Right.
Gone into my nearly list. Great cast, though. I thought Dano was great. Loved his character. He's a legend. He's just brilliant. I don't know if he could. Pete Davidson. Perfectly cast.
I watched some of his stand-up.
Yeah.
Came onto the TV the other day. That's quite thingy.
Offensive.
Yeah.
I can imagine it. I can imagine it. I really enjoyed some of the side characters as well. Marcus was a good one who worked in GameStop. Thought they worked them in really well to keep it a bit fresher.
Like a Clerk sort of sub-story, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Sort of following them. I loved the graphics showing like the net worth of them all as well. So you got to almost get an idea on where they sit on the socioeconomic scale. So you can try and pick where they are and the risks they were taking. I thought that was clever. I think everyone else was solid, but I do have one potentially controversial comment, mate, and it's Seth Rogen.
Right.
Now, I've got nothing against the guy. He's not Ben Stiller or Will Ferrell for me. But for every film he's in, it has a Seth Rogen feel. For this one, I think it worked really well. But I wonder if he adds that feel or if it's written about around him. Because I think you put him in a film and suddenly it has got the same feel as every other one of his films.
Right.
He's just one of them blokes, I think, almost directs the whole film himself around his character and him. But whether they do that consciously or subconsciously, I don't know. With the cast and that in this one, it did feel like a Seth Rogen film, despite him being a smaller part of it. And I think that's a bit weird as well. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I suppose so. I mean...
I'm not necessarily against it. I'm just... I'd love to see... I would love to have seen him in Wolf of Wall Street, see if he could do anything different in that.
It's just very... Because obviously everything about his voice and everything like that is obviously so original that I suppose that you're drawn to thinking about other Seth Rogen films because it doesn't change, does it?
No.
You know, his voice, and that's the same. He doesn't act anything different.
No, he's one-dimensional, isn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, he just talks in his own voice and shit, you know. He doesn't do anything, so doesn't sort of like change it up or put a different accent on as far as I'm aware. So, I suppose you're just drawn to other films that he's
interesting to see him try something else, see if he could.
Well, the good thing is he wasn't in it.
No, but even for a smaller part, it felt like a Seth Rogen film. I just found it a bit weird. I would love to fully understand all the information behind it. And I got the fact that it's basically small little people were taking money off the rich twats who thought they could manipulate the small little people. And then they still continued to double down. And it was so transparent what they was doing that it made it amazing to watch, that these little people could see what they were doing. They weren't even doing it subtly. They was basically rubbing them in their faces in it, as if to say, we got more money than you, we'll carry on with this. And every time they did it, everyone just kept doubling down, and it was like, call my bluff.
Yeah.
It was great. I do remember this happening at the time, but I didn't have a clue what was going on. And it made a better movie than I thought it would. Because at the time I was just thinking, I don't really understand what's going on, because it weren't a UK company. We were just hearing bits about it. Yeah. I didn't really get it. How do you short a company to make money? It just blew my mind. Music questionable at times.
All right.
Bit like Ute, wasn't it? Bit Ute. There was but for the Ute of the day. I
thought you meant on the Ute.
No, I didn't really get it, some of it, but you know. Did read though, the real Ken Griffin, he ain't happy about this. He's tried suing everyone. He's an angry man. It makes it even better to watch it. I might watch it again just to piss him off a little bit. The two knobheads getting called out when they was offering free trading, and the interviewer was saying, "Where are you making money then?" And you could see him thinking, fuck. Well, that was a great scene.
That was Robin Hood, yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Hood,
yeah. But just seeing them squirm and like waiting for one to say something, and the other one thinking, no, don't say that. It was brilliant.
Not billionaires anymore.
No. It's amazing the money involved, though, isn't it? It blows my mind.
It'd have been nice to have been in on it.
Yeah.
Made a few squiddaroo, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
Same as Bitcoin and all that shit, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking incredible sums of money people were making. But it was just the rich people trying to take it from the little man. They didn't like it when it flipped round, did they? They did not like that. I still think it's a mug's game, no matter what side you're on, but there you are. Probably because I don't understand it. I love the fact that no one really knows if Keith Gill's still got his shares or not.
Yeah.
He's just fucked off. That no one really knows. Yeah. Even though they put like his net worth on. How do you know? Because has he got the shares or not? I think it struggled a bit to reach the heights of some other films in this sort of subject matter.
Right, yeah.
But I think it was done on, I wouldn't call it a dumber level, it was done on a more casual, relaxed level, because it was away from Wall Street so much, wasn't it? It was away from office thing, it was just in someone's basement. So I think,
ultimately just a bunch of normal people, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm also shocked, it cost 30 million to make it.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked it only took 20.
Yeah, that's those figures were pre-Christmas.
I think if it flips over and it cost 20 and it made 30, I think I could be comfortable with that.
It costs a lot of money. I'm not quite sure why it costs 30 million.
No,
it seems like a lot for
watermelons.
Yeah, when it's just literally people. Maybe it's the graphics.
Seth Rogen, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
Big old. But I got a solid 72.
Have you?
Solid 72.
The only thing I would say is that woman who held on to her stock at the end. I mean, what a knobhead.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I love the fact she went flying and was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, have some more champagne.
I don't know why she's done that. But anyway, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Well done. I thought you might like that one.
Yeah.
A bit of Paul Dano.
Decent, solid film, mate.
Oh. So, what you got for me?
Got you one, mate. Another 2023 film that hasn't made any of my lists, but it's homework and that, innit? Don't worry about it and stuff like that.
Because it's going to be shit, isn't it?
It's currently, well, I've given it to you because I saw the IMDb thing on this and I thought, I think that's worth more than that.
Right.
I do, but we'll find out. That's currently 5.4 out of 10 on IMDb. 15, 1 hour, 50 minutes long, builds a drama, sci-fi thriller with a synopsis of Hen and Junior farm a secluded piece of land that's been in Junior's family for generations, but their quiet little life is thrown into turmoil when an uninvited stranger turns up at their door with a startling proposal. Starring the woman you can't pronounce, Saoirse Ronan, Paul Mescal and Aaron Pierre. Only got a gross of this, 233k, because I think it's an Amazon original, and they chuck it in a few theatres to make a little bit of dollar, don't they, to try and get some awards. It's 2023's Foe.
Okay. There we go.
The shortest title of the year.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right, I'll look at that.
Have a gander, see what you reckon.
Yeah, no worries, I will do. So, mate, that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Dragged on a bit. We don't want to stay our welcome, do we?
My watch has gone into, like, night mode.
Has it?
Yeah, I normally go to bed at 8:30, and it's gone into night mode.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, so it means I should be asleep. I've got to go up at 3 o'clock in the morning, so, you know, all that shit going
Old
on.
people's bladder, innit?
Yeah, I went to a personal trainer yesterday because I'm doing a marathon, and I had a protein shake before bed, and I had to get up 3 times during the night last night. Yeah, not good. Oh, not good at all.
I did my core yoga last night, and my belly feels like it's on fire today.
You might like the fact that because I reached a certain age, I've been made to go to the doctors for yeah. They said
in a pot.
They said is there any particular, because I don't have a doctor, I don't go that often. They said, is there any particular doctor that you want to see?
Mate,
that's what I said. Who's got any with small fingers? Who's got the smallest fingers?
Not one of them big fat ones that's got the big old sausage fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, who's got the smallest fingers? Oh dear. Oh, I've got a woman. It's a woman doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know. I have to have a little spruce up.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go in, wouldn't it?
So,
it's all the cash, she'll wax you.
No, I've got to give them something to worry about. So, mates, that's about it, isn't it? I don't know when this is coming out, but no one knows when we recorded it. So, it don't really matter, does it?
I do, because I put it on Twitter earlier.
Okay. Well, no one looks at that. So, mate, I'm done.
Yeah, me
You
too.
done?
Yeah.
Do you want to say goodbye then, Mark?
Goodbye then, Mark.
Happy New Year, everybody.
See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Oh, I got a good present Christmas, mate. I got these womble-shaped salt and pepper grinders, right? Little wombles. I've had to give them back so they can take them back. Get a refund on them, because everything was either overground or underground.
No one's going to get that unless you're like over 40 and live in the UK. That's it. No one's going to understand that. Fucking hell. Or laugh at it. You know what I mean? Fuck me.